Hi, I'm James Anderson, your host, and today we're going to discuss about the Wild West and its brutality. The Wild West, often romanticized in literature, film, and popular culture, represents a significant and tumultuous period in American history, spanning roughly from the end of the Civil War in 1865 to the early 20th century. The Wild West is characterized by rapid expansion, lawlessness, and conflict. This essay explores the emergence of the Wild West, focusing on the socio-political and economic factors that contributed to its formation and examining the reasons behind its notorious brutality. The concept of manifest destiny played a crucial role in the emergence of the Wild West. This 19th century doctrine held that the United States was destined to expand across the North American continent. This belief fueled westward expansion, encouraging settlers to move beyond the Mississippi River into territories inhabited by Native American tribes. The promise of new opportunities, land ownership, and economic prosperity attracted thousands of settlers, leading to the rapid development of new towns and cities in the West. The discovery of gold in California in 1848 sparked the California Gold Rush, attracting prospectors and fortune seekers from around the world. The promise of wealth led to a massive influx of people to the West, creating boomtowns that sprang up overnight. These towns, often lacking established legal and governmental structures, became hotbeds of lawlessness and violence. The gold rush was followed by other mineral discoveries, including silver in Nevada and Colorado, which continued to draw settlers to the region. The Homestead Act of 1862 was another significant factor in the westward expansion. The act offered 160 acres of public land to any adult citizen who could cultivate and improve the land for 5 years. This policy aimed to encourage the settlement of the West by providing affordable land to a diverse group of people, including immigrants, freed slaves, and women. The promise of land ownership and the opportunity to start anew attracted many to the frontier, contributing to the rapid settlement of the West. The completion of the first Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 revolutionized travel and commerce in the United States. The railroad connected the east and west coasts, making it easier for people to migrate, transport goods, and communicate across vast distances. The railroad also facilitated the movement of troops and law enforcement, although its presence did not immediately curb the lawlessness that characterized the region. The accessibility provided by the railroad accelerated the pace of westward expansion, further contributing to the development of the Wild West. The rapid expansion into the West often outpaced the establishment of formal legal and governmental institutions. Many frontier towns lacked adequate law enforcement, leading to a prevalence of crime and violence. In the absence of structured legal systems, settlers often took the law into their own hands, resulting in a culture of vigilantism. Vigilante justice was swift and brutal, with lynchings and public hangings becoming common forms of punishment. The westward expansion encroached upon the lands traditionally inhabited by Native American tribes, leading to numerous conflicts and violent confrontations. The U.S. government's policies of forced removal and relocation, exemplified by the Trail of Tears, exacerbated tensions. Many tribes resisted the loss of their lands and the destruction of their way of life, leading to a series of Indian wars. These conflicts were marked by brutal massacres and atrocities committed by both settlers and Native Americans. The Wild West was also characterized by numerous feuds and range wars, often stemming from disputes over land, water rights, and grazing territory. The Johnson County War in Wyoming and the Lincoln County War in New Mexico are notable examples of such conflicts. These disputes often involved rival factions of ranchers, farmers, and settlers, resulting in violent clashes and prolonged hostilities. The lack of strong legal enforcement allowed these feuds to escalate, contributing to the region's brutal reputation. The Wild West is famously associated with outlaws and gunslingers, whose exploits have been romanticized in popular culture. Figures like Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and Butch Cassidy became legendary for their criminal activities, including bank robberies, train heists, and cattle rustling. The widespread availability of firearms and the lack of effective law enforcement created an environment where such individuals could operate with relative impunity. The frequent gunfights and duels added to the violent nature of the region. The harsh and often unforgiving environment of the West also contributed to its brutality. Settlers faced numerous challenges, including extreme weather, scarce resources, and isolation. The struggle for survival in such a hostile environment often led to conflicts over resources and territory. Additionally, the prevalence of diseases, lack of medical care, and difficult living conditions contributed to the high mortality rates and the overall harshness of life in the frontier. Alcohol played a significant role in the social life of the Wild West, often contributing to the region's violence and lawlessness. Saloons were central to many frontier towns, serving as places of socialization, business transactions, and entertainment. However, they were also breeding grounds for disputes, brawls, and criminal activities. The widespread consumption of alcohol often exacerbated tensions and fueled violent confrontations, adding to the chaotic and brutal nature of the Wild West. The Wild West emerged as a result of multiple factors, including the ideology of manifest destiny, the allure of economic opportunities, favorable land policies, and advancements in transportation. However, the rapid and often unregulated expansion into the frontier created a volatile environment characterized by lawlessness, conflict, and violence. The brutality of the Wild West was shaped by a combination of factors, including the lack of legal structures, conflicts with Native Americans, feuds and range wars, the presence of outlaws, harsh living conditions, and the influence of alcohol. Understanding the complex interplay of these elements provides a deeper insight into the turbulent and often brutal history of the Wild West, a period that continues to captivate the imagination and culture of the United States.